got a shocking development that should have never happened, but it did. I'm going to break this down for you right now. Could an old veteran from the Chicago Bears be returning to the team in order to fill a position of great need for this team? If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. This is crazy. We just talked about this maybe 3 months ago, and this was off the table. There was no chance this was going to happen. Well, guess what? It's back on the table, and it might just happen. So we got a breaking report from SI.com, Sports Illustrated, and they say Chargers All-Pro surprisingly listed as a trade candidate before the deadline, and it is Khalil Mack. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Khalil Mack, former Chicago Bear, all-pro sort of player, expensive sort of player, but Khalil Mack is now available at the trade deadline. Chris Rim, insider for ESPN, says that the Chargers are making Khalil Mack available. Outside linebacker Khalil Mack, the Chargers aren't looking to trade Mack, but he is one of their best assets to move at this point. He leads the team in sacks with 2.5, has the most pass rush wins at 13, and took a pay cut ahead of the season to return to the Chargers. Mack's base salary would make him very attractive, $1.3 million. He's in the last year of a deal that he took a pay cut, opting to reduce his salary from $23 million to $19 million, make him less expensive than some of the other guys that we've talked about so far. And he's got a no-tag clause. So is this a rental to get us into the playoffs and improve this defense? Well, there's a lot going on here. We don't even have to look at Spot Rack to find out what the value is on the salaries. If we can convince the Chargers that they need Nate Davis and that they need maybe a Darrell Taylor. And by the way, I don't think that Darrell Taylor is worse in any way than Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack speaks for himself. There's a little bit of gas left in those tires, air left in those tires. Whatever. Use whatever analogy that you want right now, and stop calling me weird. You're weird. I'm not weird. You're weird. Anyway, we're talking about a guy that took a pay cut to stay with a team that he wanted to be on. And what do we have right now? We have Jim Harbaugh rebuilding this team. He likes Justin Herbert. He likes what he's got, but Khalil Mack is 33 years old. So there is a real opportunity right now for the Bears to run this back one more time. And look, here's the important part. We're talking about Khalil Mack, and we're not talking about Khalil Mack being the most important person that the Bears could possibly sign. We're talking about Khalil Mack being an important piece that the Bears could sign that would help to teach Montez Sweat, that would help to teach Darrell Taylor, that would help to teach Austin Booker what they need to know. What kind of swim moves, what kind of moves do they need on the outside edge? What is it that we need to do with those guys in order to make this a successful team? Look, it's not about Khalil Mack being the guy that's on the field for every down, even though he's still got the motor and he can still do it. The question right now is, what could this team learn from a veteran with a lot of NFL experience by watching Khalil Mack practice and play every single game? We missed out on that the last time. He looked great. We loved him. But we missed out on that the last time. This team was not ready for the type of success that we as fans are looking for. But now it's different. Imagine Caleb Williams practicing with Khalil Mack every day, learning what it really means to have those edge rushes. Imagine the offensive line developing with Khalil Mack and Montez Sweat and all of these guys, getting them better so that when it's game time, this offensive line is even better by virtue of the practice that they have. Guys, Khalil Mack is almost a no-brainer at this point. The question, of course, is value. We have Nate Davis that we want to dump on anybody. We have about $6.5 million in salary cap space. Between those two, we have just enough money that if we were to add in a Khalil Herbert as an enticement or a Velus Jones as an enticement to add more bodies to that deal, then we can then make it and we are good to go. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like to see Khalil Mack run it back? Not for an entire period of time. This is the last year of his contract, but would you like to see Khalil Mack show up one more time to give Austin Booker, to give Montez Sweat, to give these guys a little bit more training, a little bit more veteran experience, a little bit more knowledge that they need in order to accelerate their game to another level? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And until then, bear down, and remember, Green Bay, gross.